Okay, in this part we want to talk about periglacial landscapes, which are these types of landscapes where the ground is often frozen below freezing for at least 2 years. And this is where we see our permafrost and tundra and high elevations and subarctic types of landscapes. So here's the North Pole here. Here's North America, the United States, Greenland, and Russia over here. So there's your glacial ice that covers most of Greenland. But notice here in northern Canada and this part of Russia, where we have permafrost, where sporadic, discontinuous, and continuous, where, for at least 2 years, the ground has been permanently frozen, permafrost. And then alpine permafrost, where it's high elevation, like here in the Himalayas and down here in the Rockies. Okay, so this is in your book, so pay attention to this graphic and read the text about that. So what it is, it's this zone of seasonally frozen ground that exists between the subpermafrost layer and the ground surface. So we get a seasonal freeze-thaw cycle for the most part. So in this case, here's your continuous permafrost, and you get this thin layer at the top that might melt. And this forms bogs and lakes and basins and so forth. So you get some pretty rich soil, but again, it's very cold, so it's mostly just mosses and low grasses and coniferous trees. But this will stay frozen year-round, and this is one reason why, at least Russia, they would kind of welcome climate change, because all this will thaw out and will give them access to the resources underneath the top layer, and as this melts and thaws, the resources will be extractable. And remember, water expands as it freezes, and that will disrupt soil and fracture rocks. So you get different types of features associated with that, like ice wedges, where water enters a crack in the permafrost and freezes, and you get this patterned ground due to the expansion and contraction of frost. Like this, for example. This is what we call a periglacial landscape, a landscape associated with the seasonal thawing of the very top layer of the permafrost. So we get these summer thaw cycles where the upper layer flows down slope. And oftentimes humans will build on that, and the heat from the building melts the permafrost below, and the building will collapse. This is up in Alaska. It's kind of a cool photo there. But if you ever move there, you got to make sure that where you're building and so forth. Okay, so that's permafrost and periglacial landscapes. Now, on the next chapter, next part, we want to talk about the Pleistocene epoch, the Ice Age. So we'll cover that one on the next one. Okay.